Hey everyone, welcome to Star Flag Media.
Oi.
It's not in Spanish. So,
Hey.
thank you guys for joining us. But if you did want to join us, we do have a Spanish channel, Star Flag Media en Español. Make sure you look that up. My name is Anthony, also known as UWA Avenger on probably every social media, or you can find me on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, even Xbox.
And my name is Chris, and you can find me as Talents860 on Sony PlayStation. It might still be UWA Talents on the Switch.
Yep. And on YouTube, you show up as both Talents860 and UWA Talents.
And as far as for Xbox, I tried to log into my old profile. I can't remember what it is. I logged in enough said.
Yeah.
But UWA enough said, but not the Talents.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe Xbox wins you over in the next coming generation. At the very least, for Game Pass, we don't know.
I mean, I'll buy it here. I'll give them that.
Yeah, maybe Game Pass. So, honestly, I'm never gonna buy another Xbox console with Game Pass as an option. But we can get into that in just a second. How about that? That's fair enough, right? So, let's talk about what happened this week. So there was a lot that happened. Obviously, last week we had our Xbox Direct, which was a lot of big news, and we knew that 4 games were going to come out multi-platform. They announced that Phil Spencer's talked about that. It was going to be 4 games, and most of them were going to be what they call service titles.
Yep.
And then we had our suspicion and what has been data mined as games that were definitely going to be coming multi-platform. The first one that we can talk about 2 out of the 4 immediately.
That was confirmed.
That we have confirmed.
Well, they're all confirmed, but
pretty much. But we know for sure for Nintendo Switch because we had a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And we talked about a Nintendo Direct a little bit earlier this week in the regular show. There's only like 5-10 minutes, but we can talk about your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I thought that. So, all right, boom. I thought the Nintendo Direct was cool. They showed off Grounded, which is an Xbox series that Xbox game that I would be interested in.
Yeah.
So now I was caught up in the hype when I watched the Direct, and I immediately texted the group chat, I'm gonna buy it.
It looks good.
Now,
maybe not so much.
Because I'm caught up in Helldivers.
Oh yeah, you've been playing a lot of that.
But I may look. That in just a second. I may look into it.
Because by the time this comes out, you'll have some time and
yeah,
who knows, maybe you'll be. Helldivers is dominating all the algorithms right now.
If anyone who knows me, I am a COD fan.
Very much so.
So to get me off of COD, it got to be great. So,
and it's gotten you off of it.
For an example, last night, I get home from work, 8-hour shift, son of a plumber, and
dusty roads.
You know about hard times.
Dusty roads.
And I get home from my hard days of work, and I'm hearing about people taking food out my mouth, and I get on Helldivers.
Oh yeah, you buy Helldivers. We got our good friend Cyclone, aka
friend
James.
of the family. I'm gonna send you some gameplay too.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because he says he don't be killing us, but he kills us.
Do you record this?
Yeah, it's all recorded.
We gotta have this. It's hilarious.
So I play Helldivers.
James is playing on PC, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's playing on PC.
And you're playing on PS5.
I'm playing on PS5, so crossplay is there.
Nice.
So I mean, I digress, but what I'm trying to say is, I'm playing Helldivers, and just to finish the story, I'm playing Helldivers, and it caught my attention. I like it. I finished playing. We had a hard difficulty mission where it looked like we weren't going to make the mission. We weren't going to pass.
Okay.
And we barely passed the mission. And for me, I was like, yeah, I'm all set. I'm done. I'm putting the controller down for Helldivers tonight.
Mission successful. I'm good for tonight.
I'm good for the night. It was
with a win.
It was bad. But we squeaked through. And in the group chat, he said for the abandonment. But I said, bro, I told you, I was for the jump. I said, that shit gave me PTSD. I'm all set. So
It's one of those games that is not forgiving.
So I went to Call of Duty right after that. Jump in the game on
You want to
Warzone.
feel like a monster again?
I jumped right on Warzone.
Okay.
And I'm playing with randoms.
Yeah.
And the randoms who I'm playing with got ass stomped. And I'm just like,
What does that mean for the folks out there that don't know?
meaning that we weren't on the same level.
I'm one of those folks.
We weren't on the same level.
Oh, so basically, when I joined the team, and you guys were like, great, we're gonna get easy lobbies now. Let's make him party leader. That's what you're talking about.
No, because
let's make Anthony party leader. We're gonna get some good lobbies.
So I'm gonna disagree with that because
Since you've done,
yeah, of course,
it's hilarious.
of course.
I'm
But
not great.
you know what the difference is?
What's the difference?
You know you're not great.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to push.
They thought they were great.
And pushing?
So when they were dead and dying
In Call of Duty.
and dying battles in Warzone,
Yeah.
after I bought them back maybe
Oh,
twice a piece,
Yeah, no, I
and now it's the end zone. Now it's the end game, right? So it's the end game,
Yeah.
and they're like, yo.
I can at least call out who's killed me and where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do those
So,
things.
but oh my God. I'm like, yo, don't shoot at those guys. They got the better position.
I know not to
We
do
need to
that.
rotate.
Yeah.
This is the end game.
You don't have to tell me
yeah,
that.
we're entering the end. We're entering the end game. And what does one random do?
Oh, we're gonna pop off.
And then what did the other two
I'm
do?
gonna join them.
And I go, yo, stop.
Yeah, they're gonna die.
Listen, we need to rotate. The gas is already on our ass.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Fuck that. So they do that,
Yeah.
and they die again. After I bought them back, I had maybe 6 buybacks that game.
I mean, to be fair, they are good decoys when you buy them back.
Yeah. So I mean, no, because
Anyway.
so
Yeah.
either way, I bought them back, and they all died fighting a lost battle.
Yeah.
And I told them, like, yo, bro, don't even do that. So now, as I'm playing for the win, or attempting to play for the win,
Right.
they're telling me what to do. You should go here. You should go left.
And you're higher level.
You
than
should
they
go
are.
right. And I'm like, bro,
So-
the fuck is y'all talking about?
So they think the reason they may have lost, or if you did lose, was because of you. Because you didn't listen to them. Because they do think they're good.
So I didn't give them that option.
Of course not. All right, let's wrap it up. Come on.
So I looked up and I said, bro, you're telling me what to do after I bought y'all back 6 times?
Yeah, they
Fuck
were
that.
already dead. They were already dead.
I'm good. And I cut the game off.
Oh, so you just rage quit on them.
And I was happy with the hours I spent in Helldivers. And that bullshit ass
you're
game
playing-
of Warzone.
Yeah.
And I said, I got my
Good for the
gaming
night.
fixed.
Good for the night.
I'm straight. I'm good.
Yeah. That's
So
fine.
that's why that I feel like Grounded wouldn't be
Wow.
a game for me.
This was, but you don't know that because it is team play. It is team based.
Yeah, it's the same.
Maybe it is that game.
It's kind of like the same.
Well, we'll find out. So Grounded is coming to Nintendo Switch and PS5. So we know for sure PlayStation 5 is getting all 4 of those Xbox releases, which doesn't surprise me. We kind of, I think,
Which is what Phil Spencer mentioned.
yeah, and we kind of all expected that. Now the big surprise was that we didn't receive a news one was Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi
We
Rush.
expect the Hi-Fi Rush.
We did expect, and everything that I've seen of Hi-Fi Rush, and I know there's going to be a lot of retractors and haters out there that are going to say this game could never run on Switch, but we've seen some impossible ports that should have never run on Switch. Hi-Fi Rush doesn't seem like one of those games. It's cel-shaded, and yeah, we understand it's rhythm-based and it needs to be at least 60 frames per second, but it doesn't seem like one of those games that would have pushed the Switch to its absolute limits if if you like downgraded the resolution. If you made it 720 or 1080p,
So
I think it was one of those games that could run on Switch.
As a drunken idiot,
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree.
Well, we've seen bigger games.
And not only am I going to disagree.
Okay.
I'm going to disagree without any facts.
Yeah.
That's I'm going to say. Let's go. I'm going to say.
It could never.
Maybe run on Switch. if they turned down the graphic fidelity and brought the game to 30 frames a second, maybe it could work.
So, can I just interject? I feel Grounded is the bigger game out of those two.
I agree.
And Grounded is running on Switch.
I agree.
So, I think what they could have done is a 720p game at 60 frames per second on the Switch. But
I agree.
I think that Microsoft maybe said,
let's hold on.
Yeah, because all the rumors that I talked a tiny bit about this, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on it, is every major news outlet, which we all know at this point is a rumor because Nintendo hasn't announced anything for the successor.
It's all
to the
speculation.
Switch.
They speaking to the janitor.
Exactly. It's all speculation, but all rumors point that the Nintendo Switch successor is pushed back to Q1, so March or so of 2025. And that Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves are coming to Nintendo, but not on Switch 1, but its successor. So maybe Switch Plus or the new Nintendo Switch.
Either way, it'd be a good. Hi-Fi Rush would be a good launch game for that.
I think Hi-Fi Rush would be a bigger hit on Nintendo than it would be on Microsoft.
I agree because there's like 100 million Switches out there to 30 million Xbox.
Also, just the art style.
Yeah, I think
it lends itself. It's a very Nintendo-ish game.
Yeah, it'll do.
I think it'll do well on Nintendo.
It'll do well,
I think it would do.
And it would be
out of the three consoles. I think Hi-Fi Rush is probably the best choice.
I agree with you, and it looks like a game. It's a game that I would like to play on the couch while watching my favorite TV show.
And since it's a rhythm-based, cool, cel-shaded game,
yeah,
it's one of those games that you can see, like, I could just pick it up, take it with me, and I'm good to go. Like, this is one of those games that
so as a launch game, I think it'll do good.
I agree. This is
as a launch game, I think.
Yeah.
If someone told me, all right, Nintendo Switch is dropping, and we got
Switch 2 or whatever to
call it. Switch 2, and we got the launch games is Hi-Fi Rush, Pilot Wings.
Yeah. Pilot Wings.
Yeah,
that's very funny.
Yeah, Pilot Wings.
But that's not that far off because Wii U had a Pilot Wings follow-up.
I know.
It was Wii Sports Resort, and it had a Pilot Wings type level.
Yeah, so we're gonna get one of those type of games for a Nintendo launch.
But Hi-Fi Rush, it's so Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Radio, whatever you want to call it.
But they're bringing that back too,
right? But that screams Sega, and if it screams Sega, it almost at the same time screams Nintendo, right? It's almost like we as old school gamers, we qualify as old school gamers at this point.
Yeah.
We can kind of quantify a Sega gamer as, at this point, since Sega went third party so long ago, as almost a Nintendo gamer. Like the people who buy Sonic are usually in the same audience as and I just feel like Hi-Fi Rush is almost in the same category as Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Radio for a lot of people out there. It's in that ballpark.
So I never put that correlation together, and when I think about it, I still can't put it together.
Cell shaded, rhythm based type, cool. It's hilarious. That fell off. You can keep it off. Not a big deal. The whole thing fell off.
So. I had it.
Yeah, you're good.
So,
it's in the mouth.
I don't see that correlation.
I'm gonna put gameplay footage of both, and I'm gonna put one here and one here, or maybe just one in the middle.
No, I see the correlation between Jet Set Radio and Hi-Fi Rush. I see that.
Okay.
I see that, but like, as far as Hi-Fi Rush being more like a Nintendo game, is what I'm assuming is what you're saying.
I just think like Sega and Nintendo fans are at this point, 20 years after Sega exiting the console space, I think Sega is more correlated to Nintendo than they are PlayStation.
Okay. So I'm going to say that as a Sega fan.
I get that. Yeah, that's fine.
As a Sega fan,
sure.
I think. Fuck, I'm sorry. As a Sega fan who owns a PlayStation 5 and a Nintendo Switch,
yeah.
I would much rather play Hi-Fi Rush on my Switch than I would on my PS5.
Yeah, so we agree.
We agree. But if they came out the same day, I would buy it on my Switch.
So we agree.
But it's not coming out the same day.
No. I get it.
And I want to play the game. So I'm going to buy it on my PS5.
Because you got it. You got the ability to buy it now, and you have a PS5.
Yeah.
And you have a Switch.
Yeah. So
I think if this game comes out later on PS5, I mean, it's
like April or something.
Yeah. But let's say March 2025, the next Nintendo comes out. I still think that version of Hi-Fi Rush
it'll still sell well.
I think it outsells the PS5 version. Just based on the audience. I don't base it on the console.
But it's a new console.
But PS5 owners aren't looking for Hi-Fi Rush.
Maybe.
I just feel like it's a different audience. And that's fair. That's not saying like that's a lesser or a greater audience.
Yeah,
I think that PS5 people are just a little bit different than Nintendo fans.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I think
I think it's neutral.
Because I got both, and I think a lot of PlayStation owners who probably got a Switch too.
Yeah.
So I think that
I absolutely
we would still. I think we would still buy Hi-Fi Rush. Period.
I think there. I'm not saying it's not going to sell well. I think it will sell well. It might get 1 million or 2 on PS5. I do believe that. But I think it would get like 3 to 5 million on whatever Nintendo console. If it would have dropped on Switch or Switch 2, I think it's a 3 to 5 million seller. And I think it's a 1 to 2 million seller on PS5.
Yeah. So if it dropped on,
which is still a very successful game on either console.
I don't know how many copies it sold on Xbox, but
I don't know either.
I think it'll sell about half as much on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And double as much what it sold on PlayStation on the Switch.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah, no, we're on the same exact page. Which is very rare when we're both drunk. But it's just one of those kind of games that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So the other game which we kind of split, and I'm gonna say this before we get into Pentiment, is last week I kind of crapped on that game, and Chris did as well, and then we've had a split as of 15 minutes ago.
So he read and had some more understanding
as to what I like in a video game, and he's been consistent throughout. So credit to Chris, and you can, if you're a type of gamer that agrees with Chris's point of view, then by all means, maybe kind of take his word over mine on this point of view. With me, I'm going to say this. Before I went into Pentiment releasing multi-platform, I dismissed it immediately.
Yeah.
That's
what you do if you don't like something.
Absolute. Before researching or looking into the game.
Fuck that game. That's you.
1000%. He is absolutely right. So I looked at that game and I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to read a storybook. I want to read a storybook. I can just go to my local library and I can go pick a 1990s Choose Your Own Adventure book. And I can get the same experience.
But what happened?
Yeah. So you might crap on me, guys, and you'll be fair to do so if you do so. I looked into who developed the game first.
Yep.
So it's Obsidian.
And they brought you great titles such as
Fallout New Vegas, which is one of my all-time favorites. And I saw what they did with somebody else's property, and I've seen and they also did a Star Wars Battle of the Old Republic. And I'm messing that name up because we are. Drunken idiots.
Yeah, we drunk. We drunk right now, folks.
We are drunk. So the Old Republic video games on the original Xbox were also, some of them are, or the later ones were made, or Part 2 was made on by Obsidian as well.
Yeah.
So it turns out I actually really like this developer.
Yep.
And I know there's no voice acting.
It's no voice acting.
Zero voice acting. And I know you have to read everything.
But so like I'm not against reading everything because I like Pokemon.
That's
There's no
true.
voice acting in that.
I didn't think of that.
It's,
A lot of RPGs.
as an RPG fan, it's
Sure.
like you got to read. But
Yeah, that's
the no voice acting kind of like I'm
killed
like,
it for you. But let's be fair too. Also, this isn't exactly one of those games.
because
Even graphically, it's not exactly.
the graphics is a book
It's
and you're
2D.
flipping the page.
It's 2D. So everything that I've been reading is that all the development went into the story arc.
Okay.
Now, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just gonna say what
I know.
convinced me. I'm gonna say what convinced me.
That's cool.
Yeah. This is probably not a game for any of you who watch this channel. So I'm not trying to convince you to purchase the game. I'm just going to tell you why I'm interested now. Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right. So we got a developer that I really, really like. I've had really, really good experiences with them previously. And when I went, and I feel, I got to eat crow. I do. I have to eat my own words. I got to be humble about, I have to eat a slice of humble pie on this one. Because personally, I'm more interested in Pentiment right now than I am in Grounded. Out of the two Xbox games that are coming to Switch. And the reason is because, A, the developer, and also because of the way the story branches. Now, I have played previous Obsidian games that branch out their storylines. And my God, if it's anything like anything that Obsidian has done previously that I've enjoyed, I've dumped 60 to 80 hours into those type of video games. So, Pentiment also got Game of the Year awards on a lot of PC magazines or PC publications. So, I am excited for anything that has to do with Obsidian in general now. But I am
So all right, so yay to the guys who like Pentiment.
probably picking up Pentiment. What am I looking at?
So we got some gaming news, but it's all speculation. So we don't want to. Well, I learned my mistake.
We
going off of speculation.
We all have though. We all have. So I know. So Drunken Idiots, February 23rd, 2024. So we are a little bit late at this point. We started kind of pre-gaming before the show.
Yeah, so we normally film our Spanish show after we do this.
But today we did it the other way.
Today we did it the other way around.
I think it's better for the show.
And yeah, I think I agree. It's better for the show. But it's Friday. Listen,
So-
guys, ladies out there. We film this show on a Friday,
Yes.
right after we get out of work.
Yes.
I get out of work before
It's been a
he
long
does.
week.
It's been a long week. So
We deserve our drinks.
when I show up, sometimes I wait till when he's finished with work.
Yes.
Sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
And when I don't, sometimes I don't know. Maybe he feels he got to catch up with me. I don't know.
We're
That's
good.
it.
Now it depends on our week and how we had a week.
But-
you've had your change of departments this week and change of work
Yes.
in the last 8 months, so you kind of start getting used to that way of life.
Yeah.
So now you got to work.
So what happened was,
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. But let's keep our personal details out of it.
Yeah.
But the point is, we're here for you guys. And Pentiment for sure is coming out on Nintendo Switch. For
And-
sure is coming out
for PS5.
PS5, and we've got Grounded
That's also coming out for both as
for
well.
both. And So I might pick up both, man. I might pick up both.
I may pick up Grounded.
I know you're not into Pentiment, but
I'm
just
not
based off
picking
of
up
what I just
Pentiment.
finished saying,
Yeah.
man. And also my big thing is the price point.
Oh yeah, how much they gonna charge?
Because here's another thing, Microsoft. These games have been out for well over a year or two.
For a
And
while.
I am not going to pay full price for these games on Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
So if you think that you're going to get $60 or $70 out of me for Pentiment, definitely not.
Yeah.
That game is a $20 to $30 game. Grounded, same $30 to $40 range.
Yep.
I am not going to pay $60. I am not going to pay $70 to play the lesser version of those games, especially, and maybe this is their plan, if I can pay $17 and get it on Game Pass right now.
So how do you feel about when Phil Spencer said we're only bringing out 4 games,
Yeah.
and then the Rare collection is coming to Switch Online?
That's a really good question. Because, by the way, that was such a surprise for this Nintendo Direct.
It just hit me right now,
Out of freaking nowhere.
out of nowhere.
So we
I'm
got
thinking
these...
it like they play. I'm thinking Ultra.
So there's a few... So here's the thing. Over the last couple of years, if you guys have been watching other YouTubers like RGT85, this is one of my favorites. RGT85, whether he likes to admit it or not, is pretty much a Nintendo Switch guy.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
that's probably what pays his bills. And he kind of had the inkling, and if you go back a couple of years, that there was going to be a lot of Rare games once they announced the expansion port. When they said Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion, and they included N64, he was the first one to come up there and go, hey, Donkey Kong Country 2, 3, and 64. Those were old Rare games. What about GoldenEye? What about... So he was one of those first dudes that was out there pioneering, like, maybe we're going to get some Rare games, even though that's owned by Microsoft.
Yep.
And everybody kind of crapped on him, but he was
right.
as of this Direct, 1,000%. He was probably the only dude out there who was screaming this. He was right.
So to add to your point,
Yeah.
when Helldivers 2 launched, Phil Spencer took the Twitter
And said, hey, if you want to bring this to Xbox.
He said, this is a fabulous game. It's a shame that it's not on every console, but I understand how things work.
Hey, Sony.
But we know that we're going to do our due diligence or part or whatever. I'm paraphrasing.
Can we just say Helldivers would be a great fit on Xbox?
It would. And as a not even as a Sony fan, because I hate fan. Sony. Like I really hated Sony from the beginning.
You and me both.
But
it's so funny that we're on the other side of the fence.
If they would, if Xbox were to get involved,
yeah,
and if I could play Helldivers and buy a ODST Halo skin,
goddamn,
I would do it.
Goddamn,
because that's
Can
what
you just give us a Helldivers Starship Trooper skin. I'll be really happy with that. I'll be all right with that.
I would do that. If they drop the ODST skin for Helldivers,
just an Xbox exclusive, just kind of
if it was
it's like $12 extra or whatever.
But Xbox is done with exclusives, so it'll be available for everyone. So I would buy it.
Listen. Sony has a hit on their hands with Helldivers 2.
They just
didn't know what this was because the first one underperformed.
Yeah, and I give them credit for that.
And
you got to give them. You got to. The first game they only had 1,000.
This was gonna be viral.
Yeah,
it went freaking viral. If you don't have a PlayStation right now or a PC, it feels like you're missing out.
So
I got both, and I haven't downloaded this crap.
So what I learned is they expanded the server cap from 450 to 700 right now.
And it's still not enough.
And they added a 15-minute AFK function where you automatically get kicked. AFK is away from keyboard, whatever. So
people were literally staying in the game just to not get kicked out of the server.
Yeah. So my thoughts on that is, all that is good.
Yeah.
I believe I thought of a workaround to get into the game It worked so far.
Okay, don't tell everybody.
Now that
because they might kick you. You might not be able to get back in.
But we need viewers.
Nobody's watching this yet.
So
not to that level.
Okay, so now what worked?
Go ahead, tell them just in case.
So not even what worked, but
what worked for you last week?
So as a PlayStation owner, I remember from Call of Duty, there was a Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2 drop.
Yeah.
It was a way to get in early. And if you weren't from New Zealand or whatever, you ain't have to change your time of place or whatever. So what happened was you have the panels on the Xbox or PlayStation. Yeah. And when you go down to the panels and it'll say Avenger is playing Modern Warfare 3 right now. And I would just click extra join or it'll promote you. It'll say, hey, press extra join right now. And I would press extra join right now. And it'll bypass all that and it'll bring me in the game into the server. And it would allow me to play. And I tested that theory with Helldivers 2. And to my surprise, it worked. And I've been playing Helldivers 2.
Yeah, good for you. It's the PC players that really run into a lot of issues.
Yeah, it's people out there on Steam who got 100 hours of gameplay, and it's like, bro, were you waiting in the lobby? Were you AFK? Was it whatever? But it's a good game. It's a really good game, and I stand by that.
Everything has looked amazing.
So last week, when we talked about it, I played the introduction. I played the first mission, and I was like, I liked it. Now I've played it, and I've died a lot. I've killed a lot. Yeah. I have unintentionally killed friends, and I would say that it's really good. It's like I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 10 difficulties. I'm like,
and new planets pop up all the time.
I'm like level 5, and it said challenge mode unlocked. Yeah. And I was like, challenge difficulty unlocked. And I said, oh, challenge mode is unlocked. And it was like, and the people I was playing with Cyclone and 2 randoms. And they said, oh, I thought challenges is easier than hard. And I said, I don't know. It just said it's unlocked right now. So they thought that they already had challenge and they getting hard. They was playing on hard. But
they weren't even close yet.
So leading us to say we playing and we get to a mission that was on hard that they thought was challenging. Or we get to a mission that was challenging and they thought was hard. And we almost died. And we have 20 minutes to do the mission to get your points because like it's a great game, yo. It's a great game because they lock everything behind earnables. You want a new skin, you want a new suit, you want a good gun, you want a new superpower, a stratagem. They lock all that stuff behind the missions that you complete. Yeah. And not just like the time that you played. You got to successfully beat these missions and you get points. And it's enough, but it's not enough to get you hooked. Yeah. And then
it keeps you going.
Yeah. Right?
Because so then the next thing you can buy.
So then
that's smart. It's a service game at the end.
Yeah, you only have enough so you could go, damn, do I want this new gun? Do I want this new suit? Do I want this new power up? Right. And then when you did like I did, when you're playing a game, when you're playing with Cyclone and your lives are limited to an extent, and you got, 2 lives left. Cyclone dies. He says, hey, I died. Bring me back in the game. And you go, okay, I got you. You bring him back in. Right. and then he immediately lands in and kills you.
Because it really is just that type of game, guys.
And now you're like, fuck, nigga.
Why'd I bring you in?
Fuck, you just wasted a life on top of that. And,
all right. So, we say all that just to wrap up the Nintendo Direct. Chris is really into Helldivers 2. He's not the only one, guys. Helldivers 2 is probably the biggest viral game right now, currently out. And you can get this right now on your PlayStation 5 or PC. So go pick up Helldivers 2. From everything that I've been hearing, everything that I've been seeing, it sounds amazing. I'm left out. Everything that's been happening with the servers has come also not helped.
Hell let loose on Helldivers 2.
Yeah, neither one. Yeah, I haven't jumped into any one of those. Anyway, just to wrap up really quick, we're going to talk about some surprises that I saw in the Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
All right, we're going to wrap up. We're about half an hour.
Sorry, guys. We're super drunk. I know I'm super drunk. I'm also hungry.
And Chris is about to make his disappearance from the camera, as he does every week. So he's going to grab himself a Truly.
This is
So, surprises of the Nintendo Direct that were not expected. Only one of them was really leaked, and nobody took it seriously because of the PlayStation 5 leaks and the Xbox leaks. So it kind of fell under the radar. And that big leak was Epic Mickey rebrushed for the Switch. This is probably not a big thing on anybody's radar if you're a hardcore gamer. But if anybody had a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox 360 in the early days, we're talking about 2010, 2011, Epic Mickey Part 1, not Part 2, was a big hit. And the Wii version in particular was like a very big hit.
Yeah.
And now we're getting a remastered, you call it the rebrushed edition. It's like in HD.
Yeah.
It'll look better, of course, and updated gameplay, updated graphics, and we're getting that. That was leaked a while ago, and nobody paid it any attention because bigger news was out there. We all thought it was the end of Xbox. So when you hear a leak for Epic Mickey during the end of Xbox, guess which one doesn't take precedence? The other one that came out of nowhere was Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. And it's kind of hard to go back from Helldivers 2 and everything he was just talking about into like Super Monkey Ball.
I seen that and I was like, maybe my son will like it.
I played the original like 3 on GameCube and Wii.
But
one of my all-time favorite GameCube games was the first Monkey Ball.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a great game.
Yeah, all-time classic, and we're getting a brand new one with 200 fresh courses. This is probably one of those games, and I feel like it's a good fit at the end of the Switch's life cycle. This is either a very end of the Switch game or a very beginning of a console's life. Monkey Ball is not one of those games that you buy a console for. Another one that kind of caught a lot of people's attention online after I submitted the video last week that I've seen online is called Another Crab's Adventure. And you play as a hermit crab that lost its shell, and you're going onto an adventure to reclaim different shells. It involves using any piece of trash in a polluted ocean as a temporary shell with different abilities to defend or attack underwater threats. I didn't really pay much attention to this until I saw all the traffic about this.
Yep.
It gives off very much like Katamari Damacy, PlayStation 2 weird vibes, and it might be a sleeper hit. And then Nintendo, well, we had a one that kind of broke out of nowhere was Game Freak's Pocket Card Jockey Ride On. Game Freak, famous for Pokemon.
Yeah.
They had an Apple iOS game that was like a huge breakout hit on Apple games. And apparently it's coming to Switch.
Yeah. You looked at me like, you know about this? Because
you're a
Game
big Pokemon
Freak
guy.
But it's like...
But I didn't look at you like you should know about it, but almost like anybody that heard that Game Freak was going to release a game on Nintendo Direct, we all expected something Pokemon related.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Pokemon YouTubers out there thought it was going to be a new IP of a Pokemon mobile game.
Yeah.
But... yeah,
game that I was excited for, and I am no longer excited for after downloading the demo. Contra.
Wow.
Contra Operation Galuga was supposed to be a modern reimagining of the original NES game.
What happened?
Let me tell you, they reimagined the animations, they reimagined the frame rate, they reimagined the gameplay. The thing looks like, and when you normally press down to duck,
It wasn't like Super Street Fighter HD.
Can
Turbo
I just
Remix
spin it? That's an insult to Super Street Fighter HD. Was so freaking good.
That's what I'm saying. It was good. It was great. I'm not saying this.
It's an insult to anything that's been reimagined.
Okay.
When you normally press down, there's usually a frame or two in between the animation, between your character holding a gun,
Okay.
and when he ducks down and lays on the floor.
Yeah.
That is not the case.
Yeah.
This guy goes from a standing up position down to completely flat in one frame, so it's jarring at best. Jarring at best. I don't know what this game plays like on other consoles, but on the Switch version that I played, let me just say this. There's also frame drops all over the place. This is not even a 30 frames per second game. That means that this reimagining of a 2D side-scrolling shooter
from 30 years ago
is maybe playing at 10 to 15 frames per second in some areas. In the demo, you will see this skip frames. You will see this drop just out of nowhere. You're like, why does it slow down? It's the first board. It's the first level.
It's the first level with all these bullets going on.
Just the brand. So what is this going to look like down the game when I run into the aliens? What is this going to look like down the game when I'm level 3 or 4 or 5 into the game and it's bullet hell?
Yeah.
I was all about this game, and I said last week, I'm like, yo, download this demo now and I'm going to buy it. Don't buy it. If unless they patch this game day one to fix the frame, I could live without the extra animations. I could, because because when you're playing, it's whatever. But the frame rate has to be 30 frames per second. It cannot be anything less than that. I don't know what it runs like on the other consoles, but on Switch, as of the demo, it's a pass. It's a pass. We talked briefly about this, the rare games that are coming to Switch Online.
Yeah, Killer Instinct would be, I think, that'd be dope.
It's a bundle of classic rare games, and this is another instance of Microsoft playing, footsie with Nintendo and allowing Rare to pull out their classics. So we've got Snake Rattle and Roll, RC Pro-Am, Battletoads in Battle Maniacs, Killer Instinct, and Blast Corps. Little known fact is Blast Corps was kind of like one of those open world inspirations for like the Grand Theft Auto games.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then Nintendo's, for some reason, decided to end their showcase, their partner showcase, with a first-party game. So I guess Nintendo is a showcase partner as well. Yeah. And they showed off Endless Ocean Luminous, which is just this really weird underwater exploration
But
game.
we heard about that when you went over the Nintendo.
Yeah, so if anybody out there is into those kind of games... and I want to talk a little bit more about Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition, which I looked a little bit deeper into.
Okay, what's that?
So Kingdom Come Deliverance is like this medieval times, super, for the Switch especially, is graphically intensive game. Which, previous generation, it's like an Xbox One title, but one of the prettier looking ones, PS4 generation titles and PC. And for it to be ported over to Switch shouldn't have happened. It is definitely one of those games that has like the best kind of reflections.
It's impossible.
If they get this right, this might be one of those games that people look at and go, it shouldn't, this might be it.
Yeah.
This might be one of those games that like...
I should, yeah. It's because it's on the Switch.
It shouldn't be on the Switch.
It's impossible. It's impossible for it.
I think if they get this right, it might be up there with Doom. It might be up there with Wolfenstein. I don't know yet. Because Wolfenstein and Doom ran great on the Switch. And those are two of my favorite games on the Switch this generation. But this was the last gen, again, PC, Xbox One, PS4 game. This looked better on those consoles, in my opinion. You guys can crap on me all you want.
He's fanboy right now. This is it's subtle, but go ahead.
I don't know how this is fanboy. This is a third-party game. But if this runs on Switch, it is kudos to those developers for getting it to run on an underpowered console.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, I mean, if it runs anything like Doom 3 and Wolfenstein, which again were third-party games, it shows that maybe some developers are a little bit lazier.
We always been saying that.
Yeah, then maybe if they would have had just a little bit more time, a little bit more resources, patience, that they could probably code these games to run on a console that is underpowered.
Yeah, I agree.
But we'll see, because we don't know yet. It might be total dog crap.
So, to all my Dragon Ball fans out there.
Yeah, to end this, we wanted to talk about Dragon Ball Z
to all my Dragon Ball fans out there who read the manga, watch the movies, whatever. So, and if you haven't, I'm gonna just give you a little quick recap. They dropped the Broly movie. If you've seen the Broly movie, you know what it is. If you've seen the Dragon Ball superhero movie, and that superhero movie is basically. Are you a fan of Dragon Ball?
Not even a little bit.
Do you know who Cell is?
I do know who Cell is.
So basically, this movie is they brought Cell back, and they brought Cell back. They made him even stronger, but he has no mind. So he's the Hulk raising out. Or
so he's just the body of Cell with all
of
his
the power,
primal.
With
I want to kill everybody with no thought process.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they brought him back, and in order to defeat him, they brought Gohan. Do you know who Gohan is?
So for me to say I'm not a Dragon Ball fan is to assume that I don't know anything about the series. I really gave the series a shot. I just never liked it, but I do know who Gohan is.
Okay.
So Goku, correct?
Okay, so I know I know your thoughts about the series.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to gauge what you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Go ahead.
So Gohan, who has always had the potential to be better than Goku, the series protagonist. When Cell returned, just to make a long story short, Cell returned. Goku and Vegeta were off the planet, and it was left up to the B team, Gohan and Piccolo.
Piccolo's my favorite character.
Piccolo's my favorite character too. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't know that. Who's
tried the hardest to be the best ever and just didn't quite make it, but he still tried the hardest? It's Piccolo.
Thank you. I love you for that. Pause. So the B team,
by far my favorite.
B team is Gohan and Piccolo. So they gave Gohan and Piccolo new power-ups.
I always thought you were a Vegeta guy.
I do like Vegeta. I like anti-heroes. Piccolo fits that bill. But he's also the only black/green character in Dragon Ball. That nigga black.
I just like Piccolo.
That nigga black. So, all right. So,
his work ethic got me.
That nigga black. So, Cell is being a monster.
Cell is also black.
So now we got to figure out who's gonna win. Who's gonna win? So now we got Piccolo. They gave Piccolo a new transformation to keep up. He kept up, but he couldn't defeat Cell.
Still not good enough.
So
this is why I can't.
Yeah. So they gave Gohan a brand new transformation.
Okay.
Which is Dragon Ball. It's all about the transformations now. They gave Gohan a brand new transformation, and he basically one-shot Cell. Do you know what one-shot means?
Yeah. He just immediately kills him.
Yeah. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
So now, the Dragon Ball manga has been covering that. The movie that happened maybe a year or two ago, and now it finally caught up, and then now it passed the movie. So now we're at a point where Goku and Vegeta and their kids, Gohan and whatever. So now they're all coming back together, and Gohan's like, "Yo, I heard you got a new form." I want to fight you. In typical Goku fashion. And Vegeta, who's also, like, okay, what happened? Yo, you got a new form. Okay, that's cool. What did my son do? So, his son is trying to embellish to make his father proud. Yeah, me and Goku's other son, we put up a good fight. We was doing this and that. And Vegeta is just Vegeta. His character is, yeah, we'll prove it. All right, so how about you two fight Gohan? So they fought Gohan, got their ass whooped. They fused, whatever, got their ass whooped. And now Goku is like, all right, so now it's our turn. Let me see your new transformation. And this month's saga ends with Goku going in his strongest form against Gohan in his strongest form. It has already been implied that Gohan in his new form is stronger than Goku. So next month we're gonna see them fight.
I can't wait for all the.
But the fandom is split.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait for that.
It's split because it's like, on one hand you're like, they always. So one hand you got the Gohan fans and the Gohan stans. It's like, bro, the fans is like, about time they gave my guy a power up to compete. He was always supposed to be better than Goku when he fought Cell the first time. And then you got the stands of Gohan.
Yeah, who said he could have blah blah blah. Yeah, he should have been
the
best all along.
So the stands is basically saying that, but they're saying like, as a stand, they're like, nah, this is bullshit because they gave him a ass pull power up, and he shouldn't win against Goku. Okay. And you got the Goku fans like, Goku should just demolish his son like he did all the other time. And then you got the other half of, well, that's just the Goku fans. And you got the fans of the whole Dragon Ball series.
Yeah,
it was also
been in it since like the late 80s.
Yeah, who's also split by saying, yeah, we get the lore. Gohan had the potential to be better than Goku. But, yeah, this is an ass pull power up that they came out of nowhere. So the split, the fandom is split because who's gonna win? Yeah. Will it be Goku? Will it be Gohan? And if Gohan wins, one, it's a fuck you if he wins because it's an ass pull. If he doesn't win,
it would be like Superboy beating Superman.
As if he doesn't win, it's a fuck you because why should he? Yeah. And then two, you got another thing going is the story is people like they're not the fight's going to be interrupted.
What is your
they're going to leave
what
us?
What would you like to see happen?
They're going to leave us on a cliffhanger and they're not going to finish the fight.
Yeah, but I know that's Dragon Ball.
That's in Dragon Ball fashion
through and through. But what
something's going to happen is going to interrupt the fight.
Yes,
we're not going to see who wins or who loses.
Sure.
And
what do you want to see happen?
I like Gohan. I really do.
You think he should beat?
I don't agree with him with the ass pull. With him beating Goku.
Yeah, because you've been a fan of a long time since
you
were a kid, man.
Yeah, exactly. And you got years of Goku and Vegeta fighting bad guys and they're getting stronger.
You've seen the journey.
And then for a bad guy to come and there's no one left. New transformation and one shots, and then they allude to he may be stronger than his father, and you go, what the fuck is that? It's bad fucking writing, in my opinion.
I don't know.
In my opinion, it's bad writing. And then you got purists that go, well, what about this character, that character? So all this shit is split, and I'm just want to say for my Dragon Ball fans out there, what do you think? How do you feel? And next month, we will know who wins. Or if you think like me, it's going to get interrupted. And there's going to be no clear and decisive winner.
It goes nowhere.
And then it goes to the next story arc.
I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. I think that they're gonna cop out and they're not gonna give you a clear answer. But if I had to choose, and this is from a non-fan that had nothing to lose, and I could get all the hate of the DBZ hate because I don't give a shit. Goku should be the guy. Goku is their Superman.
And if he wasn't their guy, who should he lose to?
He shouldn't lose to anybody because he's Superman.
But if he were to lose to somebody,
I'm a Piccolo guy. Don't get me wrong, but that's Batman. But that's not
Vegeta.
Yeah,
if he were to lose
to somebody, for sure, Vegeta. But yeah, because he's put who else has put in the time besides Vegeta? Nobody else besides Vegeta and Piccolo. Piccolo's probably put in the most time and he's gotten 0 for his effort.
Goku has the talent.
Vegeta has put in the effort.
Vegeta has the effort.
You guys don't forget what Vegeta had to do to become Super Saiyan the first time.
That nigga cried in the rain.
It's terrible.
That nigga cried in the rain. So, I want it so bad.
He got it.
And he got it.
He got it. But you're not gonna see that with Gohan.
No, they're just gonna give it to him.
They're just gonna give it to him. But listen, we're gonna close out the show this week.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Yeah, that's Starflag Media for this week. Listen, guys,
I'll put y'all in what happens next month. If I remember.
If you guys want more Dragon Ball news, let us know in the comments below, right? What do you guys think? Who's your favorite Dragon Ball character? Who do you guys feel like should be the top dog?
My two favorite Dragon Ball characters is Vegeta and Piccolo. And maybe it's because the English dub, the North American dub that we would have watched it on.
Right.
I believe, and don't quote me if I'm wrong, I believe they're voiced by the same guy.
I don't know. No idea.
But I always like the anti-hero.
Right.
And Vegeta's definitely an anti-hero. And Piccolo's just black. I
never liked Vegeta. I never liked Goku. I only liked Piccolo, and I only liked him because he was cool to me. He looked cool. He always tried the hardest.
He was different. He was the outsider.
He just reminded me of Donatello. He was the underappreciated character.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah, he's just not the guy.
I could see that.
Vegeta reminded me of your favorite Ninja Turtle, which is Raphael.
Yeah, I could see that.
But Piccolo to me was just Donatello. He was the underappreciated guy who, if you really want to think about the Ninja Turtles, Donatello, the team would fall apart without Donnie.
Piccolo helped Vegeta and Goku defeat Broly on the last movie to yeah.
Yeah,
I hear that. I understand that.
That's why he's my guy.
Okay. I can see that.
If I had to pick one.
But what if I told you that Piccolo in Dragon Ball was the Raphael?
Well, maybe not, because I don't see him being anti-hero. He's just not the guy
he was, though. Well, that's the story arcs. That's what happened. They changed.
He's never been that dude that's like never given a shit about the team.
Gohan made him softer. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the story.
Later. Yeah, that's later. That's later. Anyway,
let us know.
Neither here nor there, because I am not a Dragon Ball Z fan or Dragon Ball fan in general.
But you know a lot about it, though.
I do, because I wanted to like it. It was one of those shows that I really wanted to like because it was so popular. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys all for joining us here at Starflag Media this week. Drunken Idiots. And as always, I am Anthony here. We got our boy, Chris.
Talents 860.
Yeah, follow him on
I got a few wins on Warzone with some randoms that I'm going to post up. It may not be
Nah, he needs to start posting them Helldivers videos because that's what he's into.
I got some Helldivers footage for y'all.
Start posting up. You go follow him, UWA Talents, also Talents 860 on YouTube, and follow him for some Helldivers 2 videos. Helldivers 2 is the latest big game out there. As always, we want to thank you guys for being out here with us every week. I know that we had a listener out there let us know that they watch our podcast while they cook.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us, and hopefully whatever you're making this week is delicious and nutritious. And as always, we just want to thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Hit like
and subscribe
and
share.
As always, Anthony, Chris, Starflag Media, thank you guys. See you guys next week.